Well, good morning and welcome to Unfiltered Vision News, bringing you the news unfiltered Monday through Friday. Thank you guys so much for joining me here today on this Prayer with Friday. And with that, let's get into honoring God with our bodies. God, please guard our mind and our thoughts. God, help me to fix my thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable, so I will think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. God, please protect our ears and help us listen to your voice. God, help me to be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. God, please protect our eyes from sin's damage. God, I make a covenant with my eyes not to look lustfully. God, please speak life over my mouth. God, set a guard over my mouth. Lord, keep watch over the doors of my lips. God, please help our hands to serve generously. God, help me to do good to everyone, and especially to those who belong to our family in the faith. God, please protect our reproductive organs. God, help us to honor you with purity. God, help me to honor you with your body. To honor you with my body. Sorry. And God, please protect our feet as we walk along your path. God, let your word be a lamp for my feet and a light on my path. And amen. And that is something that we definitely try to say here every morning on Unfiltered Vision News to get our hearts and our minds set right for the day before we get into a lot of this news going on. So let's start with our trending topics on X. We've got LA facing backlash over proposed tax-funded sexual relief clinics for homeless. Now, I heard a brief clip of this earlier during my research, and I was like, wow, they are making it so where homelessness is acceptable. Homelessness isn't acceptable. It's not, and it should not be. How should I say? Enabled the way it has been. Now, I know a lot of people say, when people are on the streets so long, it's very hard to rehabilitate them. It might be, I came across another video, I don't have it right now, where the mayor of Santa Ana, California has decided, okay, you've got choices. You can either go into rehabilitation, right? Rehabilitation center. You can go into a medical facility, maybe if you've got a drug problem, to get you off of the drug medications, then we can get you into rehabilitation and get you back functioning and working. And if you don't want to do either anything else, you're going to jail. And that's it. But you're not going to be loitering and laying on the streets anymore. And that's how it should be everywhere. Period. I mean, these NGOs and charitable organizations, they've just realized it's like, oh, we can actually be prosperous off of people in their demise. And it needs to stop. It's really disgusting, but we'll get into that. And then James O'Keefe tests Alaska polling places with Murkowski family names. Uh-oh, we'll see what that brings around. And then a pastor confronts Dearborn Council over Sharia law claims. And that updated because that was not in the bingo card. First time around, because sometimes it'll refresh on me and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not what I had there that first time. But let's get into the LA. Let's see, that was that. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. So the pilot program idea presented as a public comment aims to provide hygienic sexual relief with professional oversight to give homeless people similar privacy as others, but it has not been approved. Critics called it outlandish and a misuse of funds, especially as residents like Roxanne Hodge get $70 parking tickets near uncleared encampments. So Los Angeles grapples with over 45,000 unhoused individuals, fueling debates on priorities between harm reduction and basic street enforcement. Again, I really like what the mayor of Santa Ana wants to put forth because it makes sense. Either it might be people that want to be rehabilitated, they may be working homeless, we don't know. But she's like, okay, let's get you into a program where we can get you back to self-sufficiency. people with a drug problem. Let's get you clean, get you rehabilitated, and get you, back to where you need to be. And then for everybody else who's like, I don't want to get off the streets. Okay, then you're just going to go to jail. You're not going to be on the streets. You're not going to be here. Okay? That's what you're not going to do. You are not just going to be lording on the streets. And, are the limits going to be raised? Because, loitering is basically a misdemeanor. It's like a parking ticket. You know what I mean? So what will those levels be? But at least as the mayor of the city of Santa Ana, she's doing her best to clean it up. And I applaud that. But Los Angeles, let's see, enabling this is not going to change or fix anything. Let me see if I can find the video. I might not find it. It might not be in this feed. Okay, that's alternative camp incitements. Okay. Let's see. No, that's taxpayer cash. That's something totally different. Totally different. But there's the encampment that this person was talking about. That is crazy. You'll get a parking ticket for parking in the wrong place around the encampment, yet be terrorized by homeless people. That's insane. It's completely insane. And it just shouldn't be, right? We should not, as a society, be allowing this. It makes no sense. Let me see. This is the taxpayer fund.
Could be going to free sex bungalows for a homeless harem.
I'd like to propose that Los Angeles consider a pilot program for free hygienic sexual relief clinics, primarily serving the homeless and unhoused. This means equality. It means private sexual relief through masturbation or, where appropriate and consensual, with a partner, all funded by public tax dollars and managed with professional oversight. It's about allowing the homeless to have the same comforts and privacy that we have today.
Free breast implants, teeth, and love shacks. And Karen Bass is building an entire mini city to go with it. It's a village of tiny homes for the homeless. 84 huts are already up, open for business, hundreds more under construction. Move in, you get AC, 3 meals a day, and security. It's like my dorm room freshman year. But every time a junkie gets free goodies or a John hires a hooker, a taxpayer moves out. They go to Florida, they go to Texas, or they go to the burbs. Adios, America.
Now, here's my thing with these bungalows. It looks like, okay, this would be great. But is it going to look like the encampments in 2 years? Unless there's actual real regulation and it's not going to turn into a weird kind of brothel situation, right? See, these small huts, as Jesse referred to them, should be transitional. It should not be for a family. No, it should only be for people that are single, not couples. So the person, if they're clean, they at least have an address and they can work their way to get to an apartment. But these are what those programs are supposed to do. The program should have done this. We should not have 45,000 homeless people anywhere. But there is in Los Angeles. That's just one city. California is a whole state. There's homelessness running rampant throughout the state. Like, this is it's insane. And then James O'Keefe, at 2 locations, O'Keefe was handed a question ballot after using names of Murkowski's brother Brian and her state director Karen Waller. Workers confirmed voting without ID was possible. With later review, Alaska law requires ID like a driver's license or utility bill, but allows waivers if workers recognize voters, leading to post-election checks. Murkowski, who opposes the federal SAVE Act's strict citizenship and photo ID rules due to hardships for rural Alaskans, saw her office affirm that impersonation is a crime, while defending state-managed processes amid renewed calls for tighter security. look, we need the SAVE Act, period, the end. People need to prove that they are citizens of the country and they can vote. You don't want it because people have been voting for decades. Like the people crying about TPS and they're leaving, I guarantee you they were voting. I guarantee you they were voting. They've had housing. They've got driver's license. They've been living here. They've been voting in elections. Maybe they didn't vote in federal elections, but I guarantee you they voted in local. And it's not allowed. If you are not a citizen, born or naturalized in this country, you cannot vote. That's it. Like, that's it. It's really not super rocket science. That is it. But I guess here's the video.
And Brian Markowski?
If you want, we can look you up first, or...
Yeah, I just want to see.
No, I left the ID at home.
okay.
Can I give you a name?
Yeah, we'll trade.
Okay, sorry about that. The last name is Murkowski.
And what is your first name?
The name is Brian.
Do you know how to spell Brian?
Brian. Is the name on the list?
You are.
Okay, perfect. So this is the right place.
Yes, state ID.
Oh, okay.
Military ID.
I think I left that at home.
Oh,
Can
maybe I should be like TSA. A real ID, please.
Would it be possible to vote without it?
Absolutely possible.
Oh, good.
You have a mugshot.
Oh, I think I left that at home. Blood?
DNA.
I got blood. Yeah.
You've got blood. You want to leave your blood?
Can you check to see if I'm in the right place?
I can do that for you.
Oh, hello.
Well, you don't have any IDs?
I think I left it at home. Would it still be possible to vote today?
Yeah. Yes. You can vote if you'd like to. Do you want to do a question ballot?
I mean, all I got to do is do the question ballot and I can vote.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's so convenient. It's shocking that the people inside this polling location here in Alaska did not question me at all, considering the last name Murkowski is very, very unusual last name, and that's their current senator. But I went in there and kept saying I didn't have my ID. The woman said, you can vote today. All you got to do is fill this document out. So we just fill out the question ballot, and then Brian Murkowski can vote today.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sad. Just so sad. Okay, the next trending topic we've got, I think we already went over this. The Detroit pastor accuses Dearborn Council Sharia law. Yeah, we went over that earlier this week. But another one I really wanted to get to was Tulsi Gabbard. She was giving an update on her husband, and he's cancer-free. Thank God after surgery. Thanks for all the prayers. So earlier this year, Williams was diagnosed with chordoma near his tailbone. Leading Gabbard to resign as Director of National Security on June 30th to support him. Doctors confirmed they removed all cancerous tissue, and nearly 3 months later, he's cancer-free, but in rigorous physical therapy with ongoing MRIs ahead. So Gabbard thanked God and the medical team and supporters in her emotional video, which ended in a heartfelt hug. Figures like Senator Ted Cruz and Franklin Graham offered prayers. I'm so glad, because they seem to be like really good friends. As far as a couple goes, they seem to be very much in love.
Earlier this year, my husband Abraham was diagnosed with cancer. I picked up the phone and Abraham's voice was different. He said that he got a call from his doctor, and the doctor told him that he has sacral chordoma, very, very rare, 1 in a million type of cancer. We talked with our doctors and said, okay, what are our options? One is a very invasive surgery to remove the bottom part of Abraham's sacrum and his tailbone, and the other option was radiation. So we scheduled the surgery as quickly as we could.
Put your space boots on. Yep. Your bouffant. My what? Bouffant.
They started preparing him for this surgery. I was so happy to see him when they wheeled him back into that recovery room, but it was also really scary, which I didn't expect. He'd been under heavy anesthesia for almost 8 hours. His body, as he started to come out, started reacting to the drugs that were in his body. It was tough.
Right here.
So that night, more than a few times, Abraham said, I want to get up. He had some help from some great nurses to just start very, very slowly walking around. He would take a few steps. He would throw up as he was trying to walk around, but he kept going. He refused to take any narcotic pain medication, and so he really had to push through the post-operative pain. A few weeks after the surgery was done, the pathologist and the doctors said that they were confident that they were able to cut out all of the cancerous bone and tissue. So here we are now, almost 3 months after. He started a very rigorous physical therapy program. He gets frustrated a lot because he wants to be able to make progress faster, and sometimes he's pushed a little bit too far, but overall Abraham is progressing very well. The reality is that the battle isn't over yet. He'll have to continue to get frequent MRIs to keep an eye on whether or not this cancer is coming back either in the same place or in other parts of his body. We are so grateful to God for his unconditional love, for being our shelter, for being our peace and our strength. We want to say thank you to the doctors, the surgeon, the pathologist, the anesthesiologist. We want to say thank you to all of you sharing the most beautiful prayers and well wishes with us. Mahalo nui loa to you all.
I'm just grateful, that he's okay. I think that's very tough. And, sharing something so personal with us, because she could have just left the spotlight and been like, yeah, I gotta step down, and didn't tell anybody anything. She didn't know us. That kind of response. You know what I mean? So let's move on to all sides and get some news in our headlines over here. So an unauthorized migrant murders a Virginia woman. Outlets split on significance of immigration status. So Antonio Cedillos Campos. Wow, how many names do y'all need? 19 was arrested in connection with the unaliving of a 42-year-old woman in Fairfax, Virginia. Media outlets on the right emphasized that Campos was an unauthorized migrant, while others on the left, I gotta get into this a little bit more, y'all, sorry. Let's see. While others on the left downplayed it as a factor in the murder. He's not supposed to be here. There's no factoring. This is so crazy. Again, we've got the Lincoln Riley Act, and, ICE is doing the best they can, but with judges blocking and protecting people that should not be here, it's just wrong. Like some of these judges, they need to be removed from the bench, disbarred, not ever able to practice law ever again. Okay? And there are some attorneys as well, because this whole thing with immigration is out of control because they are looping in people that shouldn't be here. Like TPS. TPS is temporary. There's no pathway to citizenship, long-term residency, nothing with that. You have to go back to your home country in order to come back here. Like that's it. You can't just get here on TPS and like, oh, this is great. I just want to stay and hang out with you guys. It doesn't work like that. You have to go home. Okay, and the U.S. national debt surpasses $40 trillion. Renewing debate over fiscal outlook. Look, yeah, it's bad. We're spending too much money. We're not making enough money. We are not lowering the debt because This was supposed to be so much better. You know, we were supposed to at least be at 30. I could take being at 30 trillion. And the only reason I say that is because we were at like 35. But it's increased. We're increasing. When is enough enough? We shouldn't be in this kind of debt anyway. Competing claims emerge on who controls the Strait of Hormuz as Trump launches economic D-Day. That's going to be interesting to see what happens, because right now we do have a little bit of leverage here in the United States. We do develop our own crude. We do have oil refineries where we are refining our own oil. We're just not doing it at the capacity that we use it, but we do produce it. So now it's getting it to the level of where we have a surplus beyond our regular usage, so we can sell to other parts of the world to make a profit and hopefully lower the deficit. My goodness. Missouri court strikes down effort to bring GOP favoring election map to voter referendum. Interesting. Okay. I like it. I don't think there should be any gerrymandering going on. Y'all are just wild. The Democrats do it. The Republicans do it. It's just crazy. So they're striking down the effort for them to even bring forward an election map. Okay, let's see. DSA candidate Angie Nixon defeats established candidate in Florida state primary. So yes, she defeated the incumbent Democrat, right? I guess the incumbent had $16 million budget, and she had right under $1 million budget, and she was able to progress, right? But it's really to see her platform and how that's going to turn into a general election win. Because yes, it's within your party, but outside of that, are you going to get enough Republicans, independents, and moderates to vote for you? That's the bigger question. Trump admin proposes ending restrictions on the $44 million forest acres. Okay, interesting. We're going to end restrictions. Yeah, because it's preserved land. It's preserved land. And then personalized mRNA vaccine reduces risk of melanoma recurrence in clinical trials. That's interesting. I don't want you messing with my DNA with modified RNA. They keep making it sound good. No, there are some people that are susceptible to melanoma, because their skin is very sensitive to the sun. So that's where that happens. Just saying. Now, I wanted to get us caught up on some, I guess, they're not current lawsuits, but the first video I'm going to show you guys is from a couple of months ago, and I just wanted to make you aware and then just give you a status update on another lawsuit going on.
Today in the landmark Meta trial, the former Facebook engineering director testified yesterday that the rate of teens exposed to violent or graphic content on Instagram was hundreds of times higher than what Meta reported. Meta is denying allegations of deliberately designing its platforms to hook young users. And now California's Attorney General is calling this, quote, the tobacco moment for Meta. ABC's Kana Whitworth has more on the trial. Hi, Kana.
Yeah, good morning. Lawyers representing several states in this landmark case hurling vicious accusations about how they claim the social media giant harvested and used data collected from children. During opening statements, the Deputy Attorney General for the California Department of Justice said they plan to show jurors a study conducted by Meta titled "The Young Ones Are the Best Ones," accusing the company of exploiting the vulnerabilities of its youngest users in order to encourage compulsive use under a teen time spent company-wide initiative for Instagram, an operation that lawyers described as hook, hold, harvest, and hide. And they called the former Facebook employee to the stand who testified that teens are being exposed to violent or graphic content that was 100 to 400 times higher than what Meta was reporting publicly. Meta, in a statement, reiterates its record in protecting teens before it became a legal issue and calls the AG's claims limited, adding the states have no proof they were misled. CEO and founder of Meta, Mark Zuckerberg, does plan to testify about how they say teen users have used the apps to help them report bullying.
Yeah. It's addictive. They know it. It was all by design. Stop it. You got caught. Now, the other one that I wanted to share with you guys really quick, this is Alexa. So if anybody, let me add it to the stage. There we go. If anyone has or has had an Alexa, so as of the 26th, I found a video on X about, they were basically trying to compare it to wiretapping. So the plaintiffs allege that Alexa devices recorded private conversations without prior proper consent, right? Including false wakes, accidental activations when no one said the wake word, retained the recordings indefinitely, had humans reviewed some of them and or used the data commercially. Some claims are framed under wiretap laws, others under consumer protection laws. So right now, trying to get to the latest one. As of the 14th, Amazon reinstated binding arbitration clauses and class action waivers in its U.S. consumer terms of service. This was partly a response to the earlier wave of tens of thousands of individual arbitration demands over Alexa recordings that overwhelmed the company years ago. Pre-existing lawsuits such as Garner are not affected by the new terms. So the video is okay. So I said, what were people aware the conversations were being recorded? Was this in the terms and conditions that the conversations would be recorded or stored later? Yes. So understand, it's in the terms and conditions. And then the other question I asked, I said, so the best thing that a consumer should do is not buy the device if they really do not understand the terms and conditions. If you are not going to read through all the fine print and you're like, oh, I'm exhausted, I just want this machine, then you're just leaving yourself open. Just know they can, do whatever they want to do. Because the rule of thumb is, yes, you probably shouldn't buy it, right? That's a solid practical rule of thumb. If you do not understand or don't agree with the terms around recording, storage, and use of your voice data, the cleanest protection is simply not to bring the device into your home. Once it's set up and registered, you're generally agreed to those practices, and the legal system tends to treat that acceptance as binding for most claims. Now, let's dial it back. The bigger question becomes, why are we allowing this in the first place? Right? Why are we allowing machines to record you? That should just be against the law, period. It's like, if you cannot make a device that is not going to record people, then we're not going to put it on the market. It's just going to be banned from the market. That's how that works. Okay? You just make laws that make it criminal to have these devices. But then what would happen to our phones? They're tracking us. They're listening to us all the time. And it's in the terms and conditions. Yeah. So it's one of those things, where does it start? Where does it end? Where does it really end? And I wanted to also do a little bit of a, as I like to call it, honorable mention. I know that there's been a lot of talk about reading, comprehension, and phonics that we've been going over in my show, and just talking about children in general. And so I asked the question, are there reading lab tools available in comprehension apps? And yes, there are reading lab and digital tools helping children build reading comprehension and match grade level standards. So parents, if you're out there listening, if you have family, if you have friends, if you have kids, there are certain apps that will help that child if they are not at their reading grade level and they need to get to that grade level. There are apps to help with the reading and help with the comprehension. When I was growing up, we didn't have apps, but we did have a reading lab that I could go to, and I had to get my comprehension level up. So one is called Readability. It uses an AI reading tutor that listens to children read aloud in real time, corrects punctuation, and asks interactive voice-based questions to check and improve comprehension. That's one. I'm not sure you would have to check, again, the back end, the terms and conditions, because it is recording your child's voice. ReadLab is designed specifically for reading comprehension. It provides short text matching to a child's specific level and ask questions that teach children how to look for answers inside the text instead of guessing, right? Another one's called Epic. Another one's called Reading Eggs. Now, this is for the comprehension and grade reading level. This other one is for phonics. So there are two separate things because people think, okay, well, reading comprehension, they're all one and the same. No, they're two different things. You need to actually understand phonics so you can sound out words, right? And actually articulate words. Once you can do that, then getting at your reading level is much easier because you will understand a lot more of the words that you're actually reading. So Hooked on Phonics actually has a step-by-step digital lessons, which is great. Teach your monster to read. Okay, that's weird, but it's a game-based adventure created with academic experts that aligns with school curriculums to teach letter sound blending. Again, here's Reading Eggs. Again, Starfall Learn to Read, and Lelio. So these are some tools that you can share with, like I said, family, friends. If you have children, please get them involved with these apps and reading materials, because right now, no one's coming to save you. This is not going to happen. So you are going to be responsible for yourself. Be responsible for your children. If there are other people in the community that you can help them as well. But definitely focus in on helping your household, right? So with that, we're going to start our prayer, but I wanted to put in a prayer request for Gabrielle Clark. Her daughter right now is going through some serious medical challenges, and we just need to pray for her and her family, and that God is really going to bring them through this trying time. And with that, let's go to God in prayer. God, thank you so much for this day. We're just praying Thanksgiving and cover going into the weekend. Please watch over everyone as they are traveling or visiting with family or participating in different events. I know there's been extreme heat. There's been extreme weather as far as the rain goes, God. And I'm really praying, God, you continue just to look over us and protect us. Please, we're praying for Gabrielle Clark and her daughter, and praying for her daughter's health and well-being right now. And just put your arms around that family, God, and just truly comfort them during this time. We're also praying for our family and friends, that you protect and love upon them, God. Thank you so much for being with us, Father. Thank you so much for just looking after us, God, and helping us even when we don't want the help, and especially when we need the help. But above all, God, we don't want to always just come to you in times of sorrow. We want to come to you in times of joy, and just thank you for being such a gracious and wonderful Father. And with that, thank you again, God. And it's in your Son, Jesus, Yeshua's name we pray. Amen. So guys, have an incredible weekend, and we will see you on Monday for our Monday recap. And remember, stay well, stay focused, and stay unfiltered. We'll see you in the next one.